Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. Nau mai, haere mai ki Government House, Wellington. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, greetings to you all. Mabuhai, and welcome to Government House. I specifically acknowledge Your Excellency Benigno S. Aquino III, President of the Republic of the Philippines, and your delegation, sir. The Right Honourable John Key, Prime Minister of New Zealand, and Ministers of the Crown, the Right Honourable Dr. Lockwood Smith. It's also our pleasure to offer hospitality to your distinguished delegation, Your Excellency, on behalf of all New Zealanders. Your Excellency, this evening has special significance. Your visit comes at a time when the growing importance of a lively Filipino community in New Zealand is becoming more widely evident. I'm delighted that a number of representatives from our Philippines community are able to join us tonight. Filipinos have made their mark in our society and in our communities. Their contributions are apparent in our information technology and business sectors, and in our health and caregiving sectors. And most recently, however, they've made their mark in our dairy sector, from as far south as Invercargill, represented tonight by His Worship Mayor Tim Shadbolt, to Hamilton in the North Island. As Mayor Shadbolt and others can attest, Filipinos have strengthened our dairy industry through their diligence and endeavour as hard-working dairy farm managers and skilled dairy workers. I recently visited Invercargill and Southland in the south of our country, where several people commented on how Filipino dairy workers have enriched their rural communities and incidentally boosted the numbers in many a Catholic parish. In more than one way, Your Excellency. Given the importance of our dairy industry and our joint commitment to dairy development in the Philippines, it is fitting that Filipinos should play a growing role in enhancing New Zealand's dairy trade. Your Excellency, there are other promising elements in our relationship that the calibre of your distinguished Cabinet delegation underlines. The Philippines rates highly amongst the fast-growing economies of our region, reflecting the growing confidence in its governance. I'm advised that the strong trading relationship between our two countries is underpinned by cooperation at both the political and official levels. The agreement establishing the ASEAN Australia-New Zealand Free Trade Area, which entered into force for trade between New Zealand and the Philippines on the 1st of January 2010, is facilitating bilateral trade and investment. That will mean we can focus our attention on areas of potential commercial opportunity. One of those areas was highlighted by the signing today of an arrangement on geothermal cooperation. The arrangement highlights the potential for further collaboration in that sector in New Zealand and the Philippines. Similarly, the arrangement concluded on a working holiday scheme underlines the potential for expanding tourism and education links, and of course, it fosters people-to-people ties. The interest of airline and tourism representatives is also a good sign that we will soon be able to realise that potential with better air connections. That potential is something of which I have some personal knowledge, Your Excellency. I have visited the Philippines on a couple of times. On one occasion, both Janine and I visited and travelled to Palawan and to Mindanao. We can confirm the beauty of your country and the warmth of its people and its climate. It truly is a lovely place to visit. Your Excellency, New Zealand and the Philippines have, of course, been partners in our region for many decades. Our earliest regional links were through the Colombo Plan and CETO. Today, the primary vehicle for our regional links is through the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, ASEAN, of which New Zealand has been a dialogue partner since 1975. From its small grouping of founding members in 1967, which included the Philippines, 45 years later, ASEAN has evolved into a comprehensive, respected, and influential framework of regional linkages that includes APEC and the East Asia Summit. Within these regional groupings, the Philippines is an influential and respected democratic voice. An important moment in our bilateral history occurred in March 1986, when New Zealand's then Prime Minister, the late David Lange, became the first head of government to visit the Philippines in support of your then newly installed President, Your Excellency's late mother, Corazon Aquino, affectionately known as Cory Aquino by Filipinos. Your Excellency's mother and predecessor in the presidency, as this audience knows only too well, played an important role in the restoration of democracy in your country, the people power yellow revolution in the Philippines. In our shared history, there have also been moments of shared sorrow. The 2011 Christchurch earthquake touched both of our communities with the tragic loss of 11 Filipino lives. We appreciated the close cooperation between our two governments at that time. And as the rebuilding of Christchurch continues to gather pace, I'm confident that skilled Filipinos will be among those workers who will play a part in its redevelopment and its reconstruction. Your Excellency, tonight then we celebrate our special bonds of friendship and community, our shared membership of a dynamic region, and our growing range of bilateral linkages from dairy to defence. Even though New Zealand and the Philippines are separated by the waters of the Pacific Ocean, ours is a friendly relationship built on the close and mutual warmth and respect between our two peoples, and a commitment to connect. In that spirit of shared community, Your Excellency, on behalf of all New Zealanders, I welcome you and your delegation to New Zealand. I made a comment earlier today, Your Excellency, that this would be the third formal welcome in this setting. And I mentioned that with that in New Zealand we do things in threes. First welcome, second welcome, third welcome. And the responsibility that comes with that third welcome is that now you are part of the general family of New Zealand. And the responsibility comes with it in the event that the staff are unable to complete the washing of dishes later on because of time constraints, then you and I and the Prime Minister will be out and about. Your Excellency, again, I welcome you to New Zealand on behalf of all New Zealanders. Thank you.
His Excellency Lieutenant General, the Right Honourable Sir Jenny Mataparay and Lady Jenny Mataparay, Right Honourable John Key, Prime Minister of New Zealand, Right Honourable Lockwood Smith, Speaker of the House of Representatives, Archbishop Charles Balu, Dean of the Diplomatic Corps, Pedro Lucho. Of course, you're very efficient and energetic ambassador to our country, Ambassador Ruben Devermore, honourable officials of New Zealand, Secretary Albert Lozano, and other members of the Philippine Cabinet present, Ambassador Padilla Benavides, ladies, gentlemen, good evening. Since the Right Honourable Governor General has mentioned the tradition of threes, I guess my being the third Benigno Simeon has some significance to it, and if there is an emergency, we are ready to cooperate as always. And when I get home, perhaps that's a number I should bear in mind for the National Lotto Draw. Allow me to begin by thanking Your Excellency, as well as the people and government of New Zealand, for extending to us such a very warm and cordial reception. This is my first time in New Zealand, and I am very glad to be here. Seems like since stepping into office, this has been the first real vacation I've had. And if vacations can be this productive, I want to go on a vacation. The cooperation between our two countries extends further than the 46 years that we have had diplomatic relations. We remember that during World War II, Filipinos and New Zealanders fought side by side for democracy. And from there, we have continued to work shoulder to shoulder in valuing and promoting the democratic way of life. Back in 1986, as earlier mentioned by the Honorable Governor General, right after my country's EDSA revolution, then Prime Minister David Logie of New Zealand was among the first to visit and offer support to my mother, who had been recently elected after a long struggle against the dictatorship. That support helped accelerate our nation's return to democracy. Our bonds cannot be found merely in our history of fighting together for the values we share. It is gratifying to know that we continue to assist each other as we address today's challenges. These past few years, we have seen our relationship deepen by how we come to each other's and aid during natural calamities. During the aftermath of the Christchurch earthquake, Filipinos the world over stood in solidarity not only with our compatriots lost, but with you as you mourned and pledged to rebuild. And when the powerful typhoons caused flooding and destruction in Mindanao earlier this year, so too did New Zealanders demonstrate their solidarity by extending a helping hand. So perhaps I can also take this opportunity to extend mine and my people's gratitude to New Zealand for your generous contributions to the Philippine Red Cross and UNICEF that helped the victims of the typhoons and contributed to the rehabilitation of affected areas, especially in the southern Philippines. Our people-to-people relations have also flourished through the years. More than 36,000 skilled Filipino migrants have built lives here in New Zealand, actively contributing to your economy and your society. Among them were two individuals I had the opportunity to meet in the last 2 days. One has called New Zealand his home for the last 40 years. He was able to land a job within your shores, which gave him the opportunity to escape the deprivations of martial law in my country. The other individual I met has been here for 9 years. Soon after the previous administration came into power in 2001, he said that was the last straw. I gave up hope for our country, packed up his bags, and pinned his future in his newfound promised land, which was New Zealand, and New Zealand has been kind to him. It takes substantial courage and emotional fortitude to uproot oneself, to move away from kin, and start anew in an unfamiliar land. The value of family is as dear to the Filipino as it is to the New Zealander. But in my 2 days here, I am somehow made to understand the reason for their leave-taking. I have witnessed the better life that my countrymen are enjoying here, born of opportunities they would no doubt have been deprived of had they chosen to stay in the Philippines of the past. This understanding propels me to further accelerate the transformation we are now experiencing in our country. Time and again, I have witnessed the decent, dignified lives of my countrymen who live abroad, and that is why I have refocused government to what truly matters, opening doors of opportunity for my people, working towards stability and prosperity, and ensuring that the growth we are experiencing is just and equitable and all-inclusive. This, I know, is a goal I share with our friends in the community of nations, a goal whose fulfillment comes within closer reach as we expand the already fertile common ground between our nations and lift each other to even greater heights. I look forward to a future of even deeper, even more meaningful, and even more positive engagement between our two respective countries. Thank you.